being on the road, what was the reason that you were traveling so much, just as a kid and growing up?
Well, my mother moved around from different places, and my grandmother used to always come and get me, and and I spent time with my grandmother down in Alabama. And
Okay.
I think about that stuff now. Yeah, think about everything that's going on right now. I'm like, wow, I saw some of that. I mean, I'm a civil rights baby. I was born in '67,
Wow.
and I mean, yeah, my grandmother used to come and get me as a little guy, and I remember, can't go in there to use the restroom and can't drink that water. We used to ride the bus from New York, and I would get down south, and things would change. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I recently did a interview with Krista Glove Taylor, and he was just telling me similar to what you were just saying. Like this wasn't his mom or his grandparents or his great grandmother. Like he had to cross the street so he wouldn't get close to white people, or he had to like not drink out of a certain water fountain as a little
Mhm.
kid.
Yep.
Like it's just astonishing that that's you guys are a little older than me, but it's like it's basically our lifetime, really. It's
Hmm.
it's
Yep, man. I got a chance to see some of that, man. I mean, I would go downtown with my grandmother, and there would be guys in white sheets collecting money for their cause. And I went to school in Alabama in middle school, and the kids would come in with literature, paraphernalia, pens, and pamphlets, and they would say, "Save the land, join the Klan." I would hear them say that in the classroom, but
wow.
it was that's how it was. That's how it was, man. That's how it
Well,
was.
Well, one of the things, and this does tie into some of the stuff I was going to talk about now, but as from '86 with Too Loud to What We Are up until Move Something, that '86 to '88 window, as you guys started getting more popular, and then there started becoming some of the legal issues that you guys started running into. What role did you think, believe, see, understand that race was playing in to the problems that you guys were running into legally and with censorship stuff?
Well, I mean, as long as we were throwing the D in the hood, and we were me so horny around our neighborhood, within our community. It was cool, I would say. But once we started blowing up, and I believe the white kids out in suburban America started getting a hold of some of the music, and all of the stories that I get now from fans. I got caught listening to your stuff when their parents start busting the kids listening to our music and finding the cassettes and all of that. Then it started slowly becoming a problem, and it became a big problem. It took off like wildfire. But yeah, when we had it and when we were doing it within ourselves and in our community, it was cool. It was cool. Once the white kids got a hold of it, man, and shit just went crazy. I would say.
No, I mean, I agree. And from everything I know and saw, that makes sense. And I think is accurate too, because um, just taking it full circle till today, we see the police brutality and the censorship going on with Black Lives Matter and different things. And this is stuff that's been in rap, especially talked about. Schoolie D talked about it. Ice T talked about it even before N.W.A. They didn't make songs about it per se, but they addressed police brutality. And then when N.W.A. came out, then it was like, oh. But even
Hmm.
that, like, it wasn't until Rodney King, to me, where people really kind of quote unquote saw, for lack of a better way.
Man, and coming up out in California, if the police was gonna get you out in California, I mean, we expected to be put in the chokehold. We expected that. You know,
Hmm.
I've gotten put into the chokehold by the LAPD and the Riverside PD. Yep,
Wow.
yep, yep, yep. So that was always there, man, and that's a fear that we always have in the black community is the police.
Right.
Some of us, and unfortunately, a lot of us have not had any good dealings with law enforcement. Never, never,
Right.
never.
It's, well,
Yeah.
well, with that being said, when you guys started running into legal trouble, did you endure a lot of police harassment and extra taking it a step further than just arresting you for being profane or pornography or whatever they were calling it?
No, I don't recall being called any names, the N word, or really treated, unjustly when the police would get involved with us, after a concert or something like that. I mean, everything was done cool. Sometimes the police would come in and have some type of paperwork. I remember seeing saying that this is what we can do and this is what we can't do, and Two Live Crew is not going to be that explicit, not in my town. Uh, I remember some things like that being said, but no, it was no brutality or anything of that sort. Because me, and I pride myself on this, I was always trying to get away. I was always trying to get away. As the police are coming, first thing coming through my mind is run. I'm getting away. So I've never been caught on stage. The police has never caught me doing anything on stage. I had to turn myself in, and when we did get apprehended in Hollywood, Florida, so I was one that had to turn myself in. But I've never went to jail straight off of the stage.
Well,
I
congratulations.
had room to run. If I had room to run, I'm running, Jack. It's not catching me.
That was a wise move. But
Yeah, man.
so that being said, what because the group's persona and the videos were like larger than life and way ahead of the time and all that type of stuff, how would you say you in particular, did you match the lifestyle or was it more on stage? Because I've heard very different things about the different group members, like who was getting down to the main degrees and who wasn't.
Hey, man. Well, reputation and perception. You know what I'm saying? Is a reality. Yeah, I know it looked big in life. I look big. I know it looked really, really big, but I never really considered myself. And somebody told me this, that I don't know how to be a celebrity. I don't know how to act. I guess because I came from some meager beginnings, some humble and meager beginnings. I never thought of myself as a celebrity or as somebody special. I never did. I never did. And I never did. And what that was just my job, and that's just what I did. Yeah. And in the group, I was kind of wild. I partied a little bit. Yeah, Luke had the money. Uh, China Man didn't say a lot as he wanted to be like Luke, and Mr. Mix was really, really, up Luke's ass. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I guess I lived that. You said your words. Your words. It has been said that your words will create the world around you. So yeah, I talked about that lifestyle with women and all of that, and I've had my fair share of it, I
Gotcha.
guess.
And then one of the other things too, and one of the reasons why I was excited to talk to you as somebody that listened to you with Poison Clan and listened to you, when you did your stuff with Toomp and your solo material and all this other stuff over the years, I know that not only I look at you as a talented writer and somebody that can do a lot of different things, but when you guys, I remember as a kid that either my friends or I started seeing in magazines that you guys weren't looked at as artists per se or weren't revered for your rhymes or however you want to look at it. Did you in the 86, 87, 88 era when you guys were like selling, doing all this stuff, really getting off the ground and being hugely successful, did you feel that then or was that something that people just kind of talked about? Did you feel other artists not looking at you guys as like, oh, he's a good
All the
lyricist?
time.
Huh?
All the time.
Really?
All the time. Yeah. New York was running it back then, so nobody liked it. We were coming out of the South doing what we were doing, with the content. Then we had the girls, and the music was fast, and we would go out on stage and try to murder it. So nobody liked us. Nobody liked us. I don't even think New York even liked the West Coast back then. That's just how it was. You know how arrogant New Yorkers are and can be, especially when they're winning. So no, and I don't think that they took us serious. I don't think they took us serious, uh, and that's why I appreciate that we kept coming with records, and we kept coming with more than 2 and 3 hit records, because I guess they looked at us as a gimmick and as a novelty act, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you got fans and you got hits, that all goes out the window.
Yeah, definitely not a one-hit wonder.
Right.
Definitely not.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing I again, because I was young, but I remember reading about this or hearing about this, that you guys actually did in this era, the clean shows for the kids or younger kids, and then adult shows. So
Yeah.
how did that even happen or come about?
I don't know. Probably, I guess, for the money. I guess for the money. They would pay the amount that we wanted or that they were getting, and okay, it's a clean show. And me myself, I would always try to sneak in the cuss words on the clean show. I didn't care. If somehow still got away with it. So none of the clean shows were squeaky clean, trust me.
Well, that's a little later, but that was something I always thought was crazy with the As Clean as They Want to Be album, because when I really didn't want to get it at first, but I was like, well, man, I got to support them being positive or looking out for the kids or whatever. But then when I heard it and got it, I was like, wait a minute, this is like almost
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It was not clean at all.
not at all. I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't play this on the normal, my normal stereo without the headphones. I've been in
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It still could use some editing.
a lot.
Yeah.
So as you're going into like Move Something, I always thought it was interesting because, again, being from right outside of D.C., the chants were so big with Go-Go,
Right.
the call and response. So was that the call and response stuff that you and Fresh Kid Ice, did you guys learn that as you went, or did you notice it right away in Miami, like that was so big?
That was Luke's thing. That's how they DJ in Miami. They talk over the record. And I couldn't when I first came, I couldn't get it because I'm just used to a DJ just saying a couple of things and scratching. But in Miami, they would constantly talk over the records, and it would sound good when they catch the break, or it sounds good when they say the word that's just coming up. Like when the DJ know all the lyrics to the song and he can kind of sing along to the song, but just a little bit out over the actual record. Yeah, it sounds real good. And the best that ever did that was Uncle Al, God bless him dead.
Yes.
So that was Luke and that Miami style DJing.
Okay.
That was with all the chants and the call and response. And yeah, man, Luke. And by Luke being a DJ, that just made him a hell of a hype man.
Absolutely. And I think too, I don't know, I always made a connection between you guys and Go-Go, and even later with Little John, that he really was kind of carried the torch to really understand that, learning, I would say, from you guys and from Go-Go, because I know Little John, but he told me how much he loved Go-Go too.
Yeah, I love Go-Go.
Especially the dancing.
I love Go-Go, man. Nothing like some good old Go-Go music.
In the beginning, hip-hop was ruled by the East Coast. Then the West Coast rose to prominence, thanks to gangster rap. Hip-hop changed the world. Gangster rap changed the narrative.
I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world.
And then changed the world again.
Cause I'll come and take your life away.
The history of gangster rap features unheard stories, unseen photos and documents, all with exclusive interviews from the founders and players who shaped gangster rap.
I think a real gangster rapper has to scare you a little bit.
The history of gangster rap, written by veteran rap journalist Soren Baker. In stores now.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Quick. Be sure to pick up my homeboy Soren Baker's book, The History of Gangster Rap, if you really want to know what we do.